Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Pot case could lead to Collier SWAT deputies pausing more before barging in. Patrick Riley and Alexi C. Cardona, Naples, published 8 a.m. Eastern Time, November 25, 2017. At just past 6:45 a.m. April 9, 2014, half a dozen heavily armed SWAT deputies gathered on the front doorstep of Juan Falcon's home in East Naples. The next few seconds laid the groundwork for Falcon's arrest on felony drug charges and could now, more than 3 years later, lead to the case's dismissal and potentially change the way deputies proceed in future cases. That day, while Falcon, his wife, and their 2 kids were asleep, the SWAT deputies from the Collier County Sheriff's Office announced themselves 3 times, according to reports. They waited about 15 seconds and, after hearing nothing, took down the door with a battering ram and tossed 2 flashbang grenades at the front and side of the home. The deputies, acting on an anonymous tip and executing a felony search warrant, found 26 marijuana plants and drug paraphernalia in a shed behind Falcon's home. More, motion on SWAT team tactics denied in Grow House case. More, SWAT raid tactics become focus of drug case. Prosecutors later charged Falcon, now 48, with cultivation of cannabis and possession of a place with knowledge of trafficking, sale or manufacture of a controlled substance, both felonies. They also charged him with possession of paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. A Collier Circuit Court judge then sentenced Falcon, who had pleaded no contest after reaching a plea agreement, to 2 years in state prison. Falcon was granted bond on October 5, 2015, while his appeal played out. Last month, an appellate judge ruled in Falcon's favor after his attorney, Chris Brown, filed an appeal after the trial judge's denial of Brown's motion to suppress evidence in the case. Brown argued that the way the SWAT deputies forcefully entered Falcon's home was improper and that they didn't wait long enough to give his client a chance to open the door. Florida law states that law enforcement officers can break into a suspect's home to execute a search warrant if the suspect refuses to give access to the residence. Brown argued Falcon was hardly given time to refuse, that 15 seconds wasn't enough time for him to wake up and get to the door, given the circumstances. In her ruling, filed October 27, appellate judge Susan Rothstein-Wacom agreed with Brown. She wrote that deputies violated the knock and announce statute by failing to provide Falcon a reasonable amount of time to respond to deputies' presence. The ruling states deputies waited more than 15 seconds but less than 20 seconds before breaching the front door. In so holding, we recognize that determining what is reasonable is not an exact science and that, in the wrong situation, waiting too long could have catastrophic results, Rothstein-Wacom wrote. Nonetheless, maintaining the balance between the rightful force and authority of the state and the rights of its citizens can come down literally to a matter of seconds. The case now will come back before a Collier Circuit Court judge, where it is expected to be dismissed, releasing Falcon from his bond, Brown said. The appellate judge's ruling also could have more far-reaching effects and could lead the sheriff's office to change its policy, he said. The court stopped short of instructing the sheriff's office to do that, Brown said. They're hinting that a policy change might not be a bad idea. In her opinion, Rothstein-Wacom urged law enforcement officers to curtail the use of SWAT tactics when executing search warrants and to take special care that their use does not simply become par for the course. The sheriff's office is reviewing this policy in light of this court ruling, spokeswoman Carrie Partington wrote in an email. However, a policy review takes time, she wrote. It is too early in the process to determine whether there will be a policy change. Partington said the sheriff's office does not have guidelines for how long deputies should wait to forcefully enter a home to execute a warrant if refused admittance after giving due notice. We respect the opinion of the court, she wrote. That being said, we will continue to approach each situation and its unique set of circumstances within the law and with the safety of everyone involved in mind. Rothstein-Wacom wrote that other than the bare nature of the offense, No factor supported the urgency with which the deputies executed the warrant, and that the facts of Falcon's case undercut some of the assumptions deputies would have made in other drug cases. Rothstein-Wacom argued that deputies had no reason to think Falcon had weapons in his home or that he would be armed and dangerous. He previously had been arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, but he no history of violent crime. The judge also wrote that deputies had no reason to think Falcon knew deputies were coming, that anyone in the home was at risk of harm, or that Falcon or his family would escape or destroy evidence. If his client's case involving a nonviolent crime and a defendant with no record of violent crime merited such a course of action by the sheriff's office, there would be few cases that wouldn't, Brown said. They will use the SWAT team any time they feel like to serve a felony search warrant, he said. I don't think that's wise. I don't think that's safe. Although Falcon is happy about the appellate court's decision, Brown said his client also understands he was committing a crime. He's learned from that experience, he said. Brown said he is hopeful that Falcon's case will lead to policy changes at the sheriff's office so that the SWAT team won't be employed willy-nilly or arbitrarily, which Brown said could lead to dangerous situations. With many Floridians keeping guns in their homes, an encounter with SWAT deputies like Falcon experienced could have dire consequences, he said. Somebody will get hurt, Brown said.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.